Hey guys, so this is the trading recap for, what is it today? Monday, February 27th, 2023. So today was a pretty wild day, I think due to the nature of the price movement. We had a ton of alerts on the SMT indicator. So on the 5-minute chart, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 alerts. And then if we go to the 2-minute chart, that's where we had a lot. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that sixth one is basically the last candle of the day, so I didn't care about that one. So really 5 and 4, which is a lot of alerts. I actually only ended up taking 2 trades today, because after those 2 trades, I was up almost 5% on my portfolio, so I didn't want to keep going and risk losing that. So I kind of just took these trades on paper trading, which I always advocate for, because you don't have to always, take every trade you see, even if it's a great opportunity. Just do it on paper trade so you can, at least test it out, see what happens, Anyway, let me get into this. So in the pre-market prep, I already showed you how I draw all my zones. So what I want to do this time, let's do it a little bit differently. I'm going to start with the 5-minute, walk you all the way through, and then do the same with the 2-minute. So one of my trades, the first trade I actually took was, it was actually based on the 2-minute chart. So we're going to go to that one. So I'll review that one later. Anyway, if we start on the 5-minute, and then we're gonna do this candle by candle replay. So you're gonna see here that we find some support on this demand zone, and then you can see that we make a move to the upside. And so I'll talk about the trades later. But anyway, you can see that we find some rejection here at the top of this supply zone. And then subsequent to that, we find that we get a nice rejection and a pullback. We try again. So we try multiple times to break out of this region. And we always reject at the top of that zone. And these are strong rejections multiple times. After that, you can see that we have a huge pullback. We find support on this demand zone, which was support prior, at open as well. This is a huge buy candle, so you can see that we wick all the way down through this fib level, this blue key level, which is kind of hard to see because it coincides with the zone. This fib level right here, we wick through all these, and then we close as a green candle. This is a huge bullish hammer. But obviously the trend is, at this point, after this massive bearish engulfing candle, I'm not looking at longs. I'm just kind of waiting for a 5-minute indicator. We get a slight bounce there off of these big wicks, and then we have a huge push to the downside off this bearish engulfing candle, which we ultimately find support here. So this is not pre-market low, but it is a strong pre-market level. I didn't have this drawn until later in the day, but you'll see that we bounce off this level multiple times during the day. You can see we had a push down here to this key level, and then what's nice is we had a really strong bounce off that key level. We almost hit that key level to the cent, so that was really cool. I coded those yesterday, and so we still don't have any triggers on the indicator, so we're just watching. At this point, I thought we might get a double top reversal, so if we were able to break past this kind of resistance here, which essentially the resistance for the double bottom was this level that I drew. If we could have closed above that in the 90 EMA, I was looking for a pushback up to this support right here, or resistance right here. So we pulled back a third time, found support on that key level, and then that's when we made our breakout. Ultimately, we kind of hovered around here for a bit, and then we made a move to the upside. So you can see right there, so we get this. This is the first indicator. So this was a 5-minute indicator trigger. This was the first one. So you can see that we have steadily been increasing in pressure there. By pressure, you can see that we have a little uptick in volume on this one. We have a nice MACD crossover, or green MACD. So we enter calls here. Now you can see that we had some really strong support right here, right at the top of this supply zone. So we don't want to risk our play running into this huge resistance and then reversing on us. So my price target here is just the top of the zone. So we enter right there on that candle. The next one takes us over inside the zone and closes above here on a bullish engulfing candle, which is a good sign. And then the next candle does tap that level, and I would have sold. This was a paper trade, but I took my profits there. And even if you held, it did wick a little bit past that zone, but you can see that there's some strong resistance there, so that was the proper time to sell on that one. So we end up reversing here to the downside after we close underneath the zone, and then we get a sell indicator here. So per the criteria which I established a few weeks ago on this indicator, there is a criteria where you disregard the signal. We essentially omit the signal because it is not a good signal. So here you can see we had this nice selling candle, this bearish engulfing. I guess it's not engulfing if the prior candle was this big, but it's a bearish candle. Everything looks bearish, nice increase in volume, but we're right on. We closed right on top of the 200 EMA. That already is omits this criteria. I don't want the candle to close right above the 200 EMA because the 200 EMA historically is a strong support resistance. So I don't want to risk puts here and then I get a strong reversals. And then couple that with, this, we were right on top of this strong support. So kind of we have like this double support. I would not risk a put here, so I omit that, right? You don't take that trade. And then right after that, we have this bearish engulfing or bullish engulfing candle. No surprise there. And then right after that, we get our next buy signal. So I enter right here. Again, as you can see previously, this is a really strong resistance area, the top of this zone. So I enter calls here, just looking for the top of the zone again. So we get that, and even if you did not take your profits at the top of the zone, we hit VWAP, which is always where I recommend taking profits because it's a strong resistance. If you didn't take profits on that candle, you got the second candle where we even pulled back to the bottom or the top of the supply zone or the bottom of the demand zone relative to how you look at it. A third wick through VWAP. At this point, that's a bearish inverted hammer. You should have definitely taken profits by here. And then as you can see, the next candle was a huge bearish candle on heavy volume. So let's see what the next trade is. So now I like this one because you can see we had super heavy selling pressure, big increase in volume, and we wicked all the way down here. We found a little bit of buying pressure, but we ultimately closed below the 200 EMA. You see here we closed above the 200 EMA, so I didn't want to risk puts, and you can see what happened after that. But since we closed below that, you can enter there, and then I marked the next support I had, which was that line right there, which I had previously marked, so that I would enter puts there, and then I would be looking to take them to that level or just simply to the bottom of that candle would be a good level. That would give you a nice drop and give you a nice amount on your puts. It hits both of those levels, so let me get rid of this one. And there you go. So that was that signal. We even kept going down, so if you held those, you would be up very nicely. And then there you go. So those were the signals on the 5 minute. So let's go ahead and switch to the 2 minute because this is where I actually took my place today. So you can see, let's kind of start from the beginning here. Let's replay the price action. So you can see at the 2 minute, we get that sell signal. So I didn't take this. I didn't even know this was going on, but you actually could have entered the sell signal. I can't talk. You can see the next level down is the top of this demand zone. So you could just enter there with your stop at the 21 EMA, and then we never closed above that, and you can see we hit that level right there. I didn't take that. I don't like playing the open like that, but that did work. You can see there's a buy signal here, and then I didn't take that as well. I was kind of driving or shopping for groceries, so that was a beautiful play if you took that. Excuse me. So what I started to notice here, this is when I started to notice that we were, look at this. So we had what I noticed to be a double top formation, right? So you can see here that we had, we wicked through, tried to break through this zone twice, we pulled back, and then it's pretty clear to see, let me kind of draw it a little bit better. It's a nice double top there. So we couldn't break through that point, and we kind of had this nice M shape here, reversal of the downside. So I entered some puts here, and I was just looking for the 21 EMA, and then we ended up hitting the 21 EMA right there. So there you go. So that was the first play I took, and the second play I took, let's see, I actually think it was on the 5 minute. I'm a little disoriented. Let me see here. Give me one sec. Yeah, so I forgot because it wasn't off of an SMT indicator, but let me just show it to you anyway. Yeah, so once we had this bearish engulfing candle here on heavy volume close below this zone, I waited for a pullback to retest the zone bottom, and then I entered puts just looking for a retest of the daily low, which happened on that next candle. So that was my second trade, and that was for like 1.4% on the portfolio. The initial trade was for about 3%, so it put me at about 4.7% on the day. So now that I've explained that, let's go back to the 2 minute so I can walk through all the signals with you guys. So we already went through that signal, we went through the buy signal, and then the reversal on the double top, and then there's a sell signal right there. So on a signal like this, you would enter puts right here, and you would just be looking to take this to the top of this supply zone or demand zone right there. I keep getting those two confused, but that's your target right there, and you can do a stop above VWAP if you want, or the 21 EMA, and then next candle you hit your target. There you go, and you get even a little bit more than that. So there's that signal. So far, all three of these have been successful. All right, we'll wait for the next signal here. Oh, there's a lot more candles on this. Okay. Should be right here. Yep. So there's a signal. You can see that we're a little bit, we have a nice amount of room to drop here. So you can enter puts right here, looking for a retest of this zone, this level. It's a really strong level. You've seen it act as a very strong support here, as well as a strong resistance here. So you can enter puts looking to get that level with a stop above the 21 EMA. And then you can see there that wick probably could have scared you, but you can see how it rejected off the bottom of this supply zone. And then we never closed above the 21. We wicked through it once, and then there you go. We go and hit that level right there. So that worked out. And what's nice is you got a second shot at this if you missed it the first time. Look at that, the same setup. We can't break through. We have a reversal to the downside, and we have this sell signal. And now what you can do is you can hit that same target because this is a strong level. So you can do the same thing. You enter there. We never close above the 21 EMA, and there you go. There's that play right there. So I think that might have been the last 2-minute signal. I'm going to have to keep watching here. Yeah, there was one right there, but it's basically the last candle of the day, but there was a move up after that. So there you go. So that's a review of all the 2-minute and 5-minute signals. There was plenty of opportunity to make money today, even in this really weird price action that can be otherwise difficult to trade. So again, we can take a look at the key levels that I went ahead and added for QQQ and Tesla. I'll do a quick breakdown of that. So you can see here we rejected this level, pulled back. Once we broke through it a second time, we made our way to the next level, had some rejection, trouble getting past that, pulled back, and then once we broke down past this level, we had this massive dump straight to the next level, where you can see we found some pretty strong support with these multiple wicks. Once we closed strongly below that level, we made our way down to the next level, found some support there, and then bounced again to this level, resistance, pulled back, and then you can see how we kind of bounced around, found some support there. And then ultimately, we had this nice extended sell-off where we found support on this level and then did a little rebound end of the day. So that was on QQQ. Now we take a look at Tesla. This one's pretty nice too. Close above this level, made our way to the next level. Same thing happened, next level. Now we found some really strong resistance here at this level, ended up pulling back, closing below this level right here. Attempted to go back through, again had a bearish candle. And then we found some really strong support here. We kind of bounced around here, broke down, and then kind of consolidated along this level, broke to the upside, made our way to the next level, broke out, pulled back, found support here, bounced around, and once we broke down through this level, we had this nice pullback and then run up into the end of day. So there you go, guys. Pretty long video today, but a little bit more in depth.